I'm Patience.
And I'm John, and we're in a band called the Grates.
And we're in New Zealand, having a great time.
I guess we moved to New York because we were trying to write songs in Brisbane, but nothing was really happening, and we thought just changing our situation might inspire us to try something new.
Yeah, I think it was really important to get out of our comfort zones, what we were used to, and moving, like relocating to New York is a pretty amazing way to get out of your comfort zone. I think we didn't even write anything that we really loved for probably about the first 6 months either, which I think was really interesting, because I thought we were going to get inspired. Well, I thought I was going to get inspired pretty much the second that I got over there. So yeah, it took about 6 months actually of New York living to really, I think, kick our butts into writing the little songs that we were really happy with.
How long were you there for?
A year and 9 months were there all up.
Yeah.
You don't live there now?
No, we're living back in Brisbane now.
Yeah, moved back to Brisbane. I think coming back to Brisbane, it was really the right time for us to come home, because we really went over there to write and record the album. That's where I was in our headspace. I was wanting to go over there for the experience of going to America, not to break it. Actually, I always want to I don't know, I always feel really weird when people are like, oh, so do you want to break America? It's just, it was never my intention of going over there. I just wanted to have life experiences to be able to put back into the album. And also, touring America is just so much fun. It's a massive, massive place, and with so many different landscapes, depending on, which state you're in and whatnot. And then coming home was just the right time. I was really looking forward to coming home. I wasn't sad.
Well, we came home like 2 days after we finished recording the album, and just started working on all the setup to get it out after that. So
yeah.
It was just...
Plus, it was also nice when we first went to the States. There's another Brisbane band called Violent Soho who were living in Brooklyn as well. So we spent a lot of time hanging out with them, and then they were there
They were there for about a year. Right? 9 months.
So when they left, it was kind of like, I don't know, Brooklyn was a totally different place without Violent Soho. No, you didn't. We were really on our own then.
I think being over there inspired us to think about why we were in the band, and I think thinking about why we're in the band and what we wanted to do inspired the writing more than the place that we were in.
Or maybe just I think it was less inspired by experiences, and I think it was just, for me, it was just about something about being over there and being out of our comfort zones and being so isolated. And also, we wrote the album over there in a way which we'd never written any other of our albums before, where we kind of had it was like a job where you and I would go into the band room during the days. It was a massive warehouse that had about 40 bands on each floor. So at night time it would just be way, way, way too loud for us to write music, because it's just, I don't know, it's too much noise in your head when there's another band on every,
another 10 bands, 20 bands.
So we would go in during the day, and just sort of do, treat it like a job. Sort of do a bit of a Nick Cave, because that's what I heard that he does. He's got a room with his piano that he checks in at, and he's got a secretary at the front or something. And so I think, and it was in a really completely different, sort of urban environment, which we'd never get in Brisbane as well. We were at the most, our band room, which was in this big, huge building, was also right next to the most toxic canal in North America, the Gowanus Canal, which was just foul. And then down the road from that, there was this a place that we would go and eat at every day called Lion Bagels, which we loved. But so often there's, it was also a bit of a scary part of town right near a place called Red Hook, and a lot of people with heroin problems and stuff like that. So I think that, even though there's no lyrics about it, I think it affected us.
Yeah.
So when we were in New York, our drummer that had worked on the first 2 albums with us decided to leave and pursue culinary arts at New York Culinary Institute, which is very fancy sounding. And so, we were kind of left in a position where we just didn't have a drummer. But I think it just, something like that obviously affects you in a whole multitude of ways. But one way that I think probably we ended up benefiting from it was the fact that we really came together.
And it really kind of made us realize that we really wanted to work on music together and keep working together as well. Like, it was kind of a crossroads, I guess, where we had a decision to make as well. I think that helped us band together and write, get more on the same page with our writing.
Yeah, just I think concentrated. There was less outside influence.
Oh, so we when we recorded our album, it was in the middle of winter and it was freezing. So we started by riding our bike to the band room every day, to the studio every day, which was about half an hour on our bikes until one day Patience got hit by a car and we ended up in hospital.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we stopped riding our bikes then and started catching the subway.
Yeah, it wasn't like really bad. I have one like tiny little scar on my chin. Which I
can we
think is
zoom
actually.
in?
Oh no, don't! I don't wear any makeup, so probably see like a million zits down there. And but oh yeah. So that's all I was left with was a little scar. But yeah, it was scary enough to stop me from riding my bike. Plus, it really messed up my bike, so we couldn't actually ride. We couldn't ride in, and it was really, really freezing by that stage. It was just before it started snowing. But so that happened, and then we started catching the subway in every day. And I think in some ways that gave us the two sides of the coin of living in Brooklyn. Is that when you live in Brooklyn, pretty much most people, like the majority of people, do not have cars. So you either catch the subway or you ride bikes. It's a real bike city. So we did the bike thing, and then we were doing the subway thing. But with the subway thing, it was like we had to catch the G line, which was going into Brooklyn, which was the longest thing ever, because I think back in the day, everyone used to just travel to the islands or Manhattan, and like they didn't think that anyone would want to travel into Brooklyn, so it was a really, really long subway trip versus riding bike, and it would just snow all the time, and walking to the subway was like always just perilous, trying to walk on sidewalks that didn't get
covered in ice
that had been compacted by people walking on it every day. Felt like I probably could have ice skated from the subway to the studio. And then we had this dog in the studio called Wilby, and every day he needed to go out for wheeze, but Werner, who owned him, really hated doing it because it was winter, so I did it lots of days. And there was a few times where Wilby would start running, and that classic thing would happen in the snow where you just go up and then bang, straight back down and you're back again. So many stories with Wilby, and then you'd do like turds in giant ices of snow, and then it would be warm and it'd just melt all the way down. And so many disgusting but also great dog stories. I don't know why I became the dog lady. It must have been just because I was willing.
Because otherwise it just would have done it in the studio. I think.
Know. I know. He did a couple of times. He just couldn't hold on anymore. So this is our album, the one that we've just been telling you about, that we recorded in New York amongst all the blizzards. Secret Rituals. That's it there.
Is there anything behind the name?
Well, actually, there kind of is, but we don't mum's the word on what the rituals were. But yeah, while we were recording the album, we did have heaps of rituals while we were recording and writing it. Just certain things that we would do every day. I think life seems so out of control in New York that was the only way that we could maintain control. And now you're eliminating all rituals from your life. That's what you said the other day.
Yeah, I'm trying. I've collected too many.
Yeah, you're a ritual collector. Yeah. This one says sample product, but you can get a real thing. Yeah, I think. It also has this. This is fun. This was my idea, remember? The cover goes like that. Oh, look, it's translucent. Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Yeah. If you get it, I'll sign in here. That's where I sign it. If I ever sign. Thanks for listening.
Thanks,
we love
heaps.
New Zealand. Home of flat whites, my favourite coffee ever.